What's up? What's up? What's up, sports world? Y'all know who it is. It's Andre the Tour Travis, and the fire starter is in the building. What's good on this phenomenal Wednesday, hump day Wednesday, where on a Wednesday you might take your dogs out to the prairie, under the canopy at a park, have a little fun with it, you know, keep them out to eat, or you might be like me, who sits in the house for a little bit, watch a little sports, whatever the case may be. But nevertheless, it's a great Wednesday, regardless of the fact. And of course, my introduction would start off by talking about an activity that my guy, no initials to be named or mentioned, but Marcus Betts, the alphabets, will be doing. But shout out to my guy Marcus the alphabets for being on the show with us. What's good, Marcus, on this lovely
What's
Wednesday?
up, man? It's just like old times, man. Hey, let's do something. You know what I'm saying? There's very few people that could just hit me up and be like, let's go to work, and I'd be like, okay, let's do it. So he it's an inside joke. He's out there putting my business out there, but it's cool. I'll let it ride this time. But it's tough, man. I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope everybody's having a good day and staying out that heat, man. We got this heat going on. I hope everybody's okay, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to first and foremost say, I'm sorry, Marcus. I was talking about your puppy, your dog travels. Yo, I was just so infatuated by the fact that the parks out there have a canopy, and they actually think about the kids not getting too warm, so they put the thing over. Buffalo, pay attention. Need to probably put some of those at your parks. Hello. But nevertheless, speaking of Texas and Buffalo, we're gonna start off the show right off the jump because Marcus the Alphabets is in the building, and you see what's right here, right in front. That is a picture of one CD Lamb. Marcus the Alphabets definitely wants to come on and talk about CD Lamb. So I'm going to give my guy the floor while he does his thing talking about CD Lamb. And I'm going to listen because, when he get to talking football, you probably should pay attention, folks. So go ahead, Marcus the Alphabet. This is all on you.
It's crazy to me, man, that people are, I live in Texas, and I hear people tripping about the whole CeeDee Lamb ordeal. Should he get paid? Should he not get paid? And people talking about it's too much money. Look, people, you are worth what people say you are worth. Okay, the going rate for receivers now is about $32 to $35 million. We just saw Justin Jefferson get paid. That's the going rate. People don't like some of these players getting paid. We've seen the quarterbacks get paid. We saw Justin Herbert get paid, Trevor Lawrence get paid, and Joe Burrow get paid. And people are upset about that. Now there's this big, debate about should CeeDee Lamb get paid? Yes. Like this isn't that hard. When you have a guy who, when you have a guy who has the type of production he's had, you pay him. Because if you don't pay him, somebody else will pay him. That's just what it is. You have a 24-year-old wide receiver who was second in the league in receiving yards last year, has emerged as one of the elite wide receivers in the game. And if you look at his stats right next to Justin Jefferson, they're pretty similar. Similar stats. You pay the man. If you don't want to pay him, somebody else will pay. Oh, he should take a hometown. No, this is his first time really getting paid. You don't take a pay cut. Maybe he could take some pay cuts down the road. Right now, you're an elite wide receiver. He's made it be known that he's if he's not paid for training camp starts in about 3 weeks. 3 weeks out from training camp, you pay the man. You pay him. He is an integral part. He's an integral part of your team. And here's the thing about it. when you draft a guy in the first round, your dream scenario is that the guy turns out to be everything that you hoped he would be. You know, I see sometimes with people are hesitant to pay players. Oh, you know, he gets in a lot of trouble. He has a drug problem. Am I going to get a phone call in the middle of the night? Domestic violence or DWI, or you know, or getting suspended for drugs. This kid, he's been a model citizen, no issues, no anything. Drafted in the first round, failed. We did a show years ago, me and Mona and Dre and a few other people, the draft show in 2020, COVID year. And I didn't even think this guy would be there. This guy falls to the middle of the first round, a top 10 pick. A top 10 pick falls to the middle of the first round, and you already had Amari Cooper. You already had Michael Gallup, and you have an opportunity to get an all-world wide receiver. And Torres, don't forget, Jerry Jeudy was the first wide receiver picked in the 2020 draft. Jerry Jeudy over CeeDee Lamb, over Justin Jefferson, over Brandon Ayuk. He went after these guys. Jalen Reagor went before Justin Jefferson. So you draft this guy, he falls to you. Everybody, it's not a luck. This is a luxury pick. You get this kid, he turns out to be everything and more what you wanted out of a wide receiver. A true X wide receiver, number one wide receiver that you have to game plan. Plays all the XYZ position. You can put them in the slot. You can put them outside. I've seen them put them in the backfield. And now it's time to pay him, and you're shortchanging this guy. If this guy were to hit the free agent market, what I'm seeing in the comment section here, what is the trade value on CeeDee Lamb? Torch, you're Torch. What is the trade? If CeeDee Lamb were a free agent or he were made available in the trade, what is his value? If Justin Jefferson was available, what is his value? If Jamar Chase were available, what is his? These are the type of wide receivers. What would you? You're a Packer fan. You live in Buffalo. What would Buffalo give up for CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson? What would you give up for them? I'm asking you.
So
2-1.
So we just went through. It's funny because we just went through this with Stephon Diggs. Here's the difference: CeeDee Lamb is 24, Stephon Diggs is 30. There's a difference. Where there's a difference in age, you have a difference in what we call value.
Y'all got a second for
longevity.
You got a second for you got a second for him.
So we got a second.
I mean, it's a
Marcus. You remember?
Yeah.
Hey, you remember I was one who talked about Stephon Diggs getting traded way before, and people were like crazy when I said that. And what happened? He ended up getting traded for a second round pick, right? CeeDee Lamb,
I got you.
You asked the same question.
Jamar Chase.
No, but here's the thing.
Jamar Chase.
You asked the same question.
CeeDee Lamb. Yeah.
Right. Now, if you ask the same question I asked about Stephon Diggs about CeeDee Lamb, the answer's different. The answer's different because of age. The answer's different because of this production that he's shown you. So it would be a first round pick at least at minimum for CeeDee Lamb.
At minimum.
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 At
minimum.
Minimum.
Okay, I'm gonna answer. I'll make it a little bit easier for you. What did the Dolphins give up for Tyreek Hill? Can somebody pull that up? What did the Dolphins give up for Tyreek Hill? He wasn't 24 years old. I think he was like 27, something like that. He's like 30 now. He's been there for 3 years. What did the Dolphins give up for Tyreek Hill? 2 1s. That's what you're gonna have to give up. That's what you're gonna have to give up. That's just what it is. The going rate. star wide receivers don't grow on trees. They just don't. They don't grow on trees. Every year in the draft, we see teams, drafting these wide receivers. Who was the first wide? What pick was Marvin Harrison this year? 4. We had like 3 wide receivers going to top 10 of this past draft. We had 3 going to first. It was Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, and Rome Odunze win the top 10 of this past draft. In the top 10, that's the, and there's no guarantee. Now, Torch, hindsight 2020. If you had to go back, and you didn't get Stephon Diggs, I know it's hindsight 2020. The Vikings used the pick that you gave up for Stephon Diggs to draft Justin Jefferson.
My answer is already.
Now, it's easy to say that now, but we didn't know what Justin Jefferson. I mean, we thought he would be good. We didn't know he would be this good. If the Buffalo Bills knew that Justin Jefferson was going to be what he is now, do they trade for Stephon Diggs, or you just sit there in the first round and draft Justin Jefferson? So
Jefferson
to make a long story short,
Jefferson would have got drafted.
But do you see what I'm saying? I'm telling you, as soon as Marvin Harrison, after the quarterbacks went in this past draft, Marvin Harrison, bam, gone. He was gone. It was the 3 quarterbacks, and right after quarterback now in today's game, we had what? We had Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels and Drake May. 1, 2, 3, wide receiver. So when you don't have a number one, I mean, there are teams out there that don't have a number one. I don't know if the Green Bay Packers have a true number one. I think they got a bunch of 2s, but some damn good 2s, and then Jordan Love spreads the ball around. But for those elite number 1 wide receivers, you have to pay them. The Tyreek Hills, the Devontae Adams, back in the day, Stephon Diggs, the Randy Mosses, the guys like that, you got to pay them. So I hope that there's a method to the madness when it comes to this, but you got to pay CeeDee Lamb. Unless you're doing a total rebuild. I mean, if that's I don't know if that's what you're planning on, then I'm trading everybody. I'm trading Micah. I'm trading CeeDee. I'm trading Diggs. I'm trading. I mean, you can't trade that because of no trade clause, but that's what it is for that. So they got to pay this man. Pay that man. The words of Deion Sanders, pay that man. You got to pay him. What current players do you think will be traded during the season? It's tough. Some of the players that I thought would be traded, I like the running back from the Texans. I think he gets traded. You just never know. It's tough because at the beginning of the year, everybody starts off with high hopes. Everybody's like, "Oh, we got a chance." And really, the reality of the situation is there's maybe 5 or 6 teams that really have they have a realistic shot of winning. And once you see that you're not going to make it, at the trade deadline, whenever you start seeing certain things, you start seeing certain situations and people. Okay, we're going to go ahead. A player that I can see being traded, T. Higgins, Trey Hendrickson. I just think that the situation with T. Higgins, I could see if maybe they start off a little bit. If they start off a little bit slow, I could see my co-host probably ain't gonna like this. I could see a person like Najee Harris being traded. I could see that. I can see.
Hey, Marcus, you got a caller on the line.
Being traded. What we got? Jump in there. Who we got?
You got a caller. Caller, what's up?
All right, so I got a question. So, what are the possibilities if New England traded like maybe one first rounder and 3 fifth rounders within the 2026 to 2023, and then we end up giving Juju Smith, and then in trade, do you think that CeeDee Lamb, they would accept the trade with CeeDee Lamb?
I don't.
Yeah, that's my question.
I don't think CeeDee Lamb gets traded. I think what it is Jerry likes to be in the spotlight. I think we all pretty much know that. It's a slow news cycle right now. It's a really slow news cycle. I think CeeDee Lamb gets paid. I think Micah Parsons gets paid. Now, can you sign all three of them? CeeDee Lamb, Micah. Actually, you don't have to pay Micah Parsons right now. CeeDee Lamb is in the last year of his deal. Dak Prescott's in the last year of his deal. I don't think that they want to sign Dak Prescott to $60 million. So to make a long story short, I don't think that CeeDee Lamb is being traded. I think CeeDee Lamb will still be with the Cowboys. I think you'll see something. Deadlines make deals. And I think right before training camp, I think CeeDee Lamb is paid $34, $35 million. So, yeah, that's my answer to you. I don't think he's traded. But if they do trade him, okay, if they do trade him, it's going to be more than just the number one. It ain't going to be no 1 and 05. It's going to probably be like 2 number ones or 1 and 2. You're going to see something like the Tyreek Hill trade. That's what you're going to see. And even more so than Tyreek because CD is younger. So, yeah, I just don't see it. But if it does come down to that, they're going to get a king's ransom for him. That's my answer. But yeah, T. Higgins.
Awesome.
Back to your yeah. What current players do you see that you think that will be traded? Damian Pierce, I can see him being traded. Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals. T. Higgins from the Bengals. I see guys like Najee Harris. I can see Najee Harris being traded. I could see. This is kind of tough. Torch. Jair Alexander. Torch.
No.
Not a chance. Anybody on the Packers? No. Okay. I'm just saying.
The Packers are going to be stiff about Jair. The Packers are going to be stiff about Jair because Jair, for some reason, is still garnering. He's one of the best corners in the league status right now. And seeing that the Packers are a very young and developmental team, as we witnessed last year, they're going to try to keep as many veteran pieces as they can. I think it would behoove them to keep their veteran pieces too, especially if they want to make a run next year. This year.
Got a young team.
Right. So no.
I got another name for you. How about this? I got another name. Davante Adams. If the Raiders come out of the block and are just trash, which is a very big possibility. What is his trade value now? If you know that you're not going anywhere, and you look at the AFC West, I know they've been reluctant to trade him because they just paid him. But if your season is going down the tubes, I can see a guy like Davante Adams being traded. I really could. If the Seattle Seahawks, I got another name for you. I got another one. Brandon Ayuk. I can see him definitely being traded. It seems like that situation. It kind of seems like they're kind of like at an impasse. Brandon Ayuk. It just seems like, I don't know. It seems to me like that situation. What do you think of that situation with Ayuk, Torch?
I think they're at a crossroad with Ayuk. Ayuk obviously wants to get paid, being that he garnered number one status last year with the 49ers. He definitely made Brock Purdy look very good last year as the go-to guy. Debo Samuel is no longer the number one. You guys can forget about that. The trade talks garner that Brandon Ayuk is now the number one guy, at least at San Francisco. I also think that it would behoove Brandon Ayuk, though, to be very mindful where he goes, because systems matter. And if you don't believe me, just ask one Devontae Adams.
Yeah,
systems matter.
Yeah,
getting the bag is one thing. It's fine to get the bag.
Yeah.
But the other thing is getting the bag and then being successful after you get the bag. I think Davante Adams should have never left Green Bay, but that's just me. Now, I bet you Davante Adams wish he didn't leave Green Bay at all, being that the Raiders, whether they're in Las Vegas, whether they're in Los Angeles, whether they're in Oakland, the organization has always been a place where if you want your career to be killed as a receiver, go there and see what happens. I mean, let's be clear. Let's be clear on that.
Oh no, Jerry Rice had a couple. Jerry Rice said that's a little bit harsh. Jerry Rice
was he ever the Super Bowl in 2008? Was he ever the same after though? Was he ever the same after though?
The Super Bowl. They went to the Super Bowl.
Marcus, the most embarrassing Super Bowl, by the way. One of the most embarrassing Super Bowls, by the way, in which I don't feel that he was ever the same after that.
Okay. Yeah, I think that Brandon Ayuk situation, he views himself, and he's a hell of a wide receiver. He views himself as like a seat. If I say it right now, you have CeeDee Lamb or Brandon Ayuk, who you taking? If I say it right now,
CeeDee Lamb or
you can get either one of
Brandon Ayuk
or Brandon Ayuk right now. Who are you taking?
I'm gonna only take CeeDee Lamb just because of production, because of his vast variety of receptions. I will take CeeDee Lamb, but that is closer than a lot of people think.
It's close because you got to look at too. Ayuk is still eating, and then on the 49ers, you got a bunch of mouths to feed. You got Debo. You got to feed Debo. You got to feed Kittle. You got to feed Christian McCaffrey. Like you're still getting 1,100 yards, and they got 3 other guys that eat. So it's kind of tough on the Cowboys. It's CD and maybe Ferguson, the tight end, that's getting a lot of targets. So we'll see though. But I just hope that they don't. I hope that they don't piss this guy off, because like after a while, like when you don't get paid, that's what these owners, these owners are, and Torch, you'll probably agree with this. These owners sometimes are very arrogant. They're billionaires. They're all billionaires. And they're used to people caving in and being like doing whatever they want them to do. And these, it's billionaires versus millionaires. And I think some of these owners get a little bit arrogant. They try to lowball these guys, and then after a while, it's like, I don't want to be here no more. I don't care how much money. I don't want to be here no more. Like, I feel disrespected because I don't feel like you really see my value. So I want out now, so I can go somewhere where I feel like my value, where they appreciate my value. So I hope that he doesn't get to that point, because we've seen this with players where after a while they get frustrated and they feel like they're not appreciated by the organization. They're like, I want out. Get me up out of here. I don't want to be here no more. I hope they don't get to that situation with them.
Yeah, totally understand it. Marcus, do me a favor. Can you?
Yeah.
Jump out and jump back in real quick. I just want to see something.
All right.
On the technical side. Jump out and jump right back in. And I'll put up the next slide. All right. For y'all that's tuned in, by the way, Rise Up Unlimited Radio Show brought to you by WDAP Radio, WDAP TV. We are talking about wide receivers, Brandon Ayuk, and CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb was the topic of conversation. I want to make sure that you guys are getting something what's going on with the technical aspect. I have no idea, but we're going to try to fix that real quick. And I'm get Marcus back up in here, trying to see if it's on one side, because my side says that we good over here. I don't know. And it might still be me. So I'm gonna wait for Marcus to come back in here. Here he comes right now. Yep, there he is. Let's see. Waiting on him. Okay, drinking. Bam, good. All right, Marcus.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Whoa, you sound way better. You sound a lot better. Now, this is for you, my guy. Once again, part 2. We right here scroll patrolling. Actually, people didn't even know we scroll patrolling in the Alphabets Football Talk show page, in which if you have not joined, you should, because you're going to get the latest and greatest of football news right here on this social media platform. All right, make sure you do that. Now, Jared said we got to at least see what Ayuk can do as a number one. It's easy to produce when you aren't the focus.
I totally agree with that.
Marcus, real quick before we get into this.
I totally agree with that. We've seen guys that think that they're number ones. I'll give you an example. This is probably a little bit further than what a lot of y'all youngsters know. There used to be a guy that played with the Cowboys. His name was Alvin Harper. Torch, I don't know if you remember him. Played on the other side of Michael.
I do remember Alvin Harper.
He wanted to be a number one so bad. He gets the big money, goes to Tampa Bay, and goes over there and flops. More recently, we've seen a guy like Juju Smith-Schuster, played on the other side of Antonio Brown. Oh, he's a number one. Gets to Antonio Brown leaves, and now all of a sudden, all of the you're getting followed around by a number one corner, a shutdown, lockdown corner who's shadowing you all over the field, and that totally changes the dynamic, because now it's like, hey, you're getting all the attention. Some of these guys think that they're number ones. I think Brandon Ayuk can be a number one, but I'm with you, Gerald. Yeah, we gotta see, because it's easy to look good, Brock Purdy, when you're surrounded by the Monstars. I know that's a quarterback, but when you're surrounded by all-world talent, we have to have that consideration. Draymond Green. I know I'm jumping over to basketball. When you're surrounded by all-stars all around you, it makes you look sometimes a little bit better than what you are. Richard Sherman, when you think that you're all that, and it's like, yeah, you look good because you got an all-pro safety behind you, or you got a all-pro corner on the other side of you. So me personally, though, Torch, your thoughts on Ayuk? What do you think of Brandon Ayuk? What are our thoughts? I know we're trying to move on to the next slide, but what are our thoughts on Brandon Ayuk? We talked about CeeDee Lamb a little bit. What are our thoughts on Brandon Ayuk? Can he be a number one? Does he have the skills and talent to be a number one wide receiver?
I think in the system that he's in, he has the opportunity to be a number one, because they're a run-heavy offense anyway. I think that there's not the same focus as being a number one receiver in San Francisco as it would be per se Houston, or as a per se when you play in an area that doesn't have a great running offense as such. So your focus as far as being the number one isn't the same in a run heavy offense.
Okay, let me rephrase the question. If today the San Francisco 49ers traded Brandon Ayuk to the Carolina Panthers, could he go over there with Bryce Young and be a number wide receiver and thrive.
No.
You see what I'm saying? That changes everything, right? That changes because it's
Yeah.
like over there, you would have to be. If I told you today that the San Francisco 49ers traded Brandon Ayuk to the New England Patriots, could he go over there and thrive and be a number one wide receiver with their deficiencies at quarterback, with their deficiencies, you know, do you see what I'm saying? Where you're going to have to be the alpha dog, the number one undisputed wide receiver on that team. Carolina, New England Patriots, we know that they're kind of deficient when it comes to offensive firepower. Could he thrive over there in a situation like that?
Yeah, no. Caller. You want to?
I have a pretty good trade proposal. I think this is like along the lines. I think it's pretty fair. What about if Dallas traded Sealand, Kyle Duggar, and what was the other guy? Yeah. Give me a second. Hold on. Wait up. Sorry.
I'm already rejecting this offer. Kyle Duggar.
What was it? Kyle Duggar for who?
He said
Kyle Duggar for who?
He said that he's trying to get the trade together. He's trying to get the trade together for New England to get CeeDee Lamb and Michael Parsons. I don't think there's to me. I don't think there's.
Hold on. I got it.
Hold on, Marcus. Listen to this.
All right, ready?
Yep.
All right, Michael Parsons and CeeDee Lamb for Juju Smith and Kyle Duggar. What are your thoughts about that?
That's an asinine trade. Why would I give you two of the best players at their position? What?
I'm sorry, and I wasn't even trying to be rude.
Let me ask you this. CeeDee Lamb is a top what wide receiver? CeeDee Lamb is a top 3, top 5,
He's a
top
10?
5
receiver. I can't even believe. Okay. What did I just hear?
A top 5 wide receiver. And Micah Parsons as an edge rusher is a top what edge rusher? After TJ Watt, maybe Myles Garrett, a top three edge. Why would I give you two of the best players at their respective position for a number 3 wide receiver and a safety that I don't need? I have 3 good safeties. I have Malik Hooker, a former first-round pick. I got Donovan Wilson, a damn good safety. I got Wanye Thomas. I got Marquise Bell, who was playing linebacker last year, who shouldn't have been. Why would Dallas make that trade? That would be like saying, okay, how about this? Yeah. I got a counter proposal for you. We'll give you Kavontae Turpin for Matthew Judon and Christian Gonzalez. Would you take that trade?
Hell no, they know better than that. I'm lost with that one. That one was about as bad as saying
you want two top. Look, their NFL Network is about to do their top 100. They do their top 100 list every year. Where is Micah Parsons going to be in the top 100 this year? Where do you think he'll be at? In the top 7, top 8 players in the whole NFL, and you want him for a backup wide receiver and a pretty good safety.
He's not even very nice. I'm shocked. Yeah, Marcus, you're being very nice right now. I'm very shocked right now that you're being very nice. I'm not saying nice.
We'll add in some first round picks. We'll do a straight up. I mean, it's not like New England has a lot of good players. I think probably the best player in their team is probably Matthew Judon, who's coming off a torn ACL. And I like the kid Christian Gonzalez, the corner that they drafted out of Oregon last year. But after that,
who was not even a top 50 player. anymore.
He's not. Why would I give up a top
Juju's
five
not a
wide
top 50,
receiver
and Duggar's
for-
not even a top 50 to me.
All right. Defensive rookie of the year. Defensive rookie of the year. Defensive rookie of the year prospects. You know, this was a very heavy defensive draft. You look at some of the I mean, so we have a list here. Vegas has already put out their odds for they put out their odds for the rookies. You see some of the higher draft picks. Latu from former UCLA player, Dallas Turner. A lot of people have compared him to Will Anderson Jr. I don't know if I don't know about that. Quinyon Mitchell, Terry Arnold. Great situation for him going to I don't know how they pulled. I don't know how he was the highest rated corner. A lot of people had him. A lot of people had him as the best corner in the draft, and he was still there in the 20s. They moved up to get him. The Lions did. Chop Robinson. I know my guy Tank will like this conversation. Cooper DeJean. You know, the Eagles went and got those two young stud cornerbacks. Edgerrin Cooper, Pack from your Packers torch, and Braden Fiskey kind of stepping in there. I'm not saying he's Aaron Donald. They drafted him to kind of be that interior presence, workout warrior, had an outstanding combine. When they saw that combine, looking on this list here, Torch, who do you see here? Who stands out to you that you got a pet cat on this list? A pet cat that you just really like from on this list here? Anybody that stands out to you? All of them, you know, haven't played it down in the NFL, but somebody that you really like pre-draft, and then maybe the situation that they went to that really stands out to you. Who on this list really stands out to you?
So I like Dallas Turner. But that's not who stands out to me. Minnesota just got rid of wait a minute. What was the name of the player that they said was going to change the landscape last show? What was the name of the player? Wasn't he from Minnesota? What was it, Calais Campbell or somebody?
Oh, no, that was Tank saying that Calais. We lost the defensive tackle that went to the Raiders, Christian Wilkins. But we got Calais Campbell. We'll be all right.
Lord. Okay. So just for the fact that Minnesota really doesn't have what I think on the line as far as who's the one player that Minnesota had that was really good. Was it Danielle?
They got rid of him.
Danielle Hunter?
Danielle Hunter, he went to the Texans.
Yeah, they got rid of Hunter, right?
Yeah, he went to
Danielle Hunter. Okay, so correct. So Danielle Hunter, now that he's gone, Dallas Turner is not going to, no offense, in year one, fulfill that hole by himself. That's just me. Jared Verse is who looks really good to me. That's who my pick is. I watched a lot of Jared Verse. Shout out to the Verses at Florida State, where he was a wrecking ball. I liked him a lot. What he did for Florida State, I liked a lot. He's one of the reasons, Marcus, that I kind of wanted to see Florida State in the college playoff
championship,
because I kind of felt like the Michigan-Florida State matchup might have been actually a good one, because JJ McCarthy, to me, they're overplaying him, JJ McCarthy. I think JJ McCarthy was very successful due to Jim Harbaugh being the system that was at Michigan and the play calling that they used at Michigan. I think he was successful because of that. But I think Florida State with their second quarterback and actually having all of their guns, I thought that would have been a decent matchup to see. And he's one of the reasons defensively. So, I mean, I expect him to do great things. Now, Donald retired or no?
Yeah, Aaron Donald retired.
So Aaron Donald retires. Leonard Floyd went back to the Rams.
No, Floyd went to the 49ers.
Okay, Floyd went to the 49ers.
Floyd went to the 49ers.
See, if Aaron Donald was around too, Jared Verse would probably thrive. I think he would excel if Aaron Donald was still around. I'm actually gonna move down the list one, and I'm gonna say Quinyon Mitchell is the other one that you have to look for. And I'm gonna be honest, I watched him. I got to watch him right here in Buffalo because he played in the MAC. He is definitely everything what people advertise. Everything what people advertise. He's no joke. Him and Cooper DeJean, I expect impact immediately in that secondary for the Eagles immediately.
The Eagles secondary was atrocious last year. When you look at a guy like James Bradbury, Darius Big Play Slade, he's not what he was, and James Bradbury is just terrible. Now they're gonna get their growing pains. You're basically putting two rookies out there, and you look at the wide receivers that are in the NFC East. You look at a CeeDee Lamb. You look at the Giants drafting Malik Neighbors. You look at the Washington Commanders with Jahan Dotson and Scary Terry. These kids are going to be tested early. I think they're going to get growing pains. They're going to have to take their lumps and bruises because you're coming into a division with some wide receivers. So we'll see. But anything was an upgrade over James Bradbury last year. James Bradbury was terrible. I mean, he was, when you look at all of the weapons that the Eagles had, and the Eagles, how they started off the season last year, everybody's, these guys are going to be okay. And then just as the season progressed, they just fell off a cliff. And most of it was because of their defensive secondary. They made a conscious effort to improve that because that really was their Achilles heel, that really was their Achilles heel. So we'll see. For me, I like the kid from the Lions. If you could put that slide back, the corner, Terrion Arnold, I like him. I think that the situation that he's going into over there, I like the Lions defense. I like how Dan Campbell coaches these kids. And they needed a shutdown corner. They moved up. They traded up to Dallas's pick. I think they moved from 28 to 24 to grab him. A lot of people had Terrion Arnold as the highest rated corner in that draft. And to go to a team like the Lions who have some pieces over there. You look at a guy like Aiden Hutchinson on the defensive line. You look at Jack Campbell, the linebacker they drafted last year. You look at his former teammate from Alabama, Brian Branch. They're starting to put some pieces together over there on the defensive side and to go get a shutdown type cornerback. I like his game. He doesn't have blazing speed. I think he's a 4.4, 4.5 guy, but he's technically sound. He reminds me a lot. Of Trayvon Diggs. Not a blazer, but he's got good enough speed. He's got good instincts, and he's very aggressive. So for me, I'm going to take Terrion Arnold. I think in the system that he plays in, he'll be able to really shine. So that's my pick. So you're going with Mitchell, and you said Mitchell. That's who you're rolling with, Torch?
Yep, Mitchell. I'm going with Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean.
Okay, and I'm rolling with Terrion. Yeah, I'm rolling with Terrion Arnold. One side note with that, Torch, you got the two rookies from the Rams. The Rams defense was pretty good last year. Now I understand that Aaron Donald's retired, but they had some players over there. They had a rookie last year, defensive tackle. His name's I I don't have it off the top of my head, but you have Fiske and Verse. And a lot of people had both of these guys graded in the first round. We did mock drafts. Me and Mona did mock drafts. And we both had these guys in the first round. And to get them later on in the draft, to get both of them, you got 2 first-round type talents on your defense to replace a future Hall of Famer. I like that. I really like that. So we'll see what happens.
We are on the Rise Unlimited Radio Show, brought to you by WDAP Radio and WDAP TV. Shout out to my guy, Marcus the Alphabets. We are in the Alphabets Football Show page right now. And if you haven't joined, you should make sure you join that page because you get up-to-date football news and analysis from my guy right here. And this is another one right here. This is one of the reasons why you need to join in on stuff like this right here. Give my man props where props is due. I wanted to talk about some of these projected ages, the current ages of these projected quarterbacks, if you don't mind. But I'm going to throw a monkey wrench in. Marcus knows I like to do this at least once a show, maybe, where I throw a monkey wrench in to the situation. Marcus, 1, 2, 3. You have to rank the top 3 on this page. And 1, 2, 3, you have to get rid of. I like to play it up a little bit. So there's a lot of names up here.
So right here on
this page, and we got 3 pages full. So this page, starting with this one, top 3, and then 3 you got to get rid of.
I want to add a caveat to this. Some of these guys are rookies. They haven't played a game. So let's not just trash their career before it starts. Let's not trash their career before you.
We're not being nice.
No, we're not going to. Okay.
No, we're not being nice. No, from what you've seen, period. I mean, they ain't that far away in proximity. It don't matter. Okay, Bo Nix has never played a game yet.
He's never played. Bo Nix. We can't call the man trash and he ain't playing it down yet. We can't do it.
Nah, bro.
Let him live.
You trying to be nice.
Let the kid
you
live.
You trying to look for a light to get up out of this. And no. This is the dark side of the moon right here, where you got to get rid of 3 today. I don't give a damn if they ever play. If you got to get rid of 3, and you got to rank the top 3.
Well, the 3 on this page that I'm keeping, I'm going C.J. Stroud, Brock Purdy, and
I'm saying
Caleb Williams. I know this is gonna sound really bad.
What?
I'm going Caleb Williams.
You say the Caleb?
Yes. I have to. And here's the reason why. I never like listen, Torch. I never liked Bryce Young. I never like, and he's a good young man, and me and Mona have gone back and forth. I don't like 5'8" quarterbacks. 5'8", 180-pound quarterbacks. The man is the same size as KaVontae Turpin. I don't want my quarterback to look like KaVontae Turpin. I just don't. He's a good kid. I'm sure. I don't want Jaden Daniels, in my opinion, again, he's a rookie, hasn't played it down. The guy, I watched him play at LSU last year, and I saw him taking kill shots. He was getting the Mario coins knocked out of him, Torch. If that kid doesn't learn how to slide,
rings knocked out of him.
I'm telling you, man, getting blasted. He's got to learn how to slide. I see Jaden Daniels. If he don't learn how to slide real fast, I see him having an RG3 type career, a very exciting, half a
Wow,
season.
cliche that
And
he
then some.
plays on the same team.
Bo Nix, I never liked Bo Nix. He's like 25, 26. He was in college for like 6 years. He was in college for like 5 or 6 years. I'm like, come on, dude. Like the dude I never liked Bo Nix. Bo Nix with the Broncos, you're in the same division with Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert. I just don't see you. I just don't see you having a great career. And Trevor Lawrence, he was Trevor, me and D Stanfield, the professional, we talk about him. He came in with a lot of hype and fanfare. He just hasn't what we thought he would be. I like Anthony Richardson, but he's another one who takes too many kill shots. He wants to be who? Trevor. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Trevor. They believe in him. I'm not, so I'm gonna go Brock. I'm gonna go CJ. You said rank them: CJ, Brock, Caleb. 1, 2, 3.
All right, now you got to get rid of 3. You ain't slick.
Oh, this is getting rid of 3.
You got to get rid of 3.
I'm getting rid of 3. Bryce Young, Bo Nix, and
I thought it was easy. Yeah.
Trevor. I'm getting rid of Trevor.
Watch out now.
I'm getting rid of Trevor. I know that sounds bad. I know he was a number 1 pick. I'm getting rid of Trevor.
Yo, my man.
No. I'm gonna go Bo. I'm gonna go Bo, Jaden, Bo, Bryce, and Jaden. Wow. That's my 3 to go.
Wow.
That's my 3.
Interesting enough. Okay. So that's your 3.
And notice in these young quarterbacks. Just look at the ages there. So they're young kids, And look, some of them might end up being superstars. I'm just saying. We'll see what happens. Bo gonna surprise people. That's what Gerald says. We'll see. Hey, if I'm wrong, you got this video, you got the receipts right here. You go right ahead.
Well, here's the next 3.
Who am I keeping here?
Here's your next 3.
All right, Josh, Joe, and Lamar. Patrick.
No. What? What you say? Oh, whoa there, buddy. Whoa. See, this is why we do these type of slides right here. You see how I throw these monkey wrenches in there? Yeah, Marcus the Alphabet was about.
Oh man!
Yes. Watch out now, Marcus.
Man.
You was real close to making.
Wow.
Go ahead.
I'm going. Of course, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. Real now,
Like, just get rid of them.
Yep. And you got to get rid of 3 too on this list. Don't think you slick.
Well, getting rid of 3, but like, I'm going Patrick. Josh.
I know what 3 I'm getting rid of if it was me.
Patrick, Josh, and I gotta take Lamar. I gotta take Lamar. And I know, and this is strictly because of injuries. Patrick, Josh, and Lamar. And believe Joe Burrow is a better overall quarterback than Lamar Jackson, but on my list, I take injuries into consideration. I take look, you know I have my the best abilities availability. I know Joe Burrow, Heisman Trophy winner, #1 overall pick, beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, something Josh hasn't done. Went to the Super Bowl, was a play away, Aaron Donald quick sack away from winning the Super Bowl. I cannot put you there and you're missing time. Like he missed his entire. He missed most of last year, and he missed his part of his rookie season. Then it's year 2. He went to the Super Bowl. I'm taking Lamar, the 2-time MVP. That's who I'm taking. Josh, Patrick, and Lamar. That's who I'm taking. And on the get rid of Daniel Jones.
We done turned the lead today. We done turned the lead today. Go ahead, Mike.
Daniel Jones. That's just too. Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is like he. Right now, would you rather have Baker Mayfield or Deshaun Watson? But this list is a good list. I'm gonna have to get rid of a good player. But Daniel Jones is just too easy. Daniel Jones, Deshaun, and Baker.
Yeah. Those is my 3.
I'm not getting rid of Jared Goff. Jared Goff is playing good ball. Baker Mayfield's playing good. And I've been very critical of Baker Mayfield, but Baker Mayfield. But I'm saying on this list, Baker's got to go, and Deshaun, Baker, Deshaun, and Daniel Jones. I can't get rid of Josh.
All right, moving right along. Last list.
That was tough, man. That was, man.
Last list.
Oh,
here you go.
Man.
This one's a little easier.
It's a little bit easier. I'm going. I'm going. Wow. No, really not. I'm going.
Right, it ain't.
Because now I'm thinking about age. I can't. I'm thinking about age. I'm going Dak because he's only 30. Dak, Cousins, and Stafford. I'm going Stafford. Aaron Rodgers. Do I believe he? And this is contingent. We have to consider this, Torch. We have to consider this. Aaron Rodgers is a 40-year-old quarterback who's done no offseason work, coming off a torn Achilles. Older players don't heal like they, if you tear your Achilles in your 20s, it sucks, but I have time to recover. I'm young enough, spry enough where I can recuperate from that. When you're 40 and part of your game, what is Aaron Rodgers' game? What is his game based off of? Mobility. Part of his game, throwing on the run, making plays, playing backyard football. You take that away from him and just tell him to stand in the pocket. He's not Aaron Rodgers anymore. Can he string together a good season this year? I think he can, but there's a lot of question marks. The last time we saw him play, have a good, full season with your Packers, with a bunch of kids out there. I think he only threw 8 interceptions. He threw he was 30 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Had a good season. Last year gets hurt in the first series of the first game of the season. Can he come back? I think he can if they use him the right way. I see a John Elway on his last dance with the Broncos. We don't need you to be MVP Aaron Rodgers, right? We don't need you to be Green Bay Packers Aaron Rodgers. What we need you to do is hand the ball off to Breece Hall and Braylon Allen 35 times between those two and make 3 or 4 plays in there. But right now, based off of the last time we saw him getting carried off the field, I'm going to go Dak, Cousins, Stafford. 3 that I'm getting rid of: Jacoby, Carr, and Geno. Jacoby, Carr, and Geno. Now that's really Jacoby, Carr, and Geno. I think Derek Carr is garbage dumpster juice. I think he's gotten so many chances. I don't like Derek Carr. I don't think he's a very good quarterback. What's your 3? I want to hear your 3, Torch.
By the way, shout out. I see Dennis Holmes in here. Shout out to Dennis Holmes. Yo, Dennis, we'll do a show tomorrow. We'll do a show tomorrow or Saturday, either or. Me and you. That'll be fine because I'm still trying to. No offense to everybody that's tuning in, I'm still trying to figure out the connectivity issues that we might be having with the stuttering or whatever the case may be. I don't know if it's on my end, but regardless, I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. My 3 on here, Marcus, I love how you talking age. Matthew Stafford's a champ. Rodgers a champ. Cousins, hell no. Russell Wilson's a champ. Geno Smith was top 7 2 seasons ago. He hasn't done bad in Seattle, I'm going to be honest with you. I think they ran into a rough patch last year in the middle of the season and towards the end just because, Seattle had a couple injuries. And then on top of that, Derek Carr is the one who has underwhelmed the most to me. I don't care what he does, to be honest with you. Derek Carr is just Derek Carr to me. Whatever at this point. Jacoby Brissett. I would rather hear about Jacoby Brissett than Derek Carr, to be honest with you. But Jacoby Brissett, Derek Carr, and Kirk Cousins all can go to the trash right now. I'll throw all 3 of them in garbage right now. You'd rather
have Geno Smith. Hang on. You'd rather have Geno Smith over Kirk Cousins?
Absolutely.
Wow.
And that sounds crazy. But let's be honest. Let's be clear, Marcus. In the last couple of seasons, who's had more impact and whose team has been more successful? To me, it's Geno Smith. It's Seattle. To me, personally, it's Seattle over Minnesota.
He's got a better team. We
Seattle had a better team than Minnesota.
Yeah. Yes.
Didn't Minnesota? Whoa! Wait a minute. No. Let's not do that.
Yes.
Minnesota literally won the division. No, I disagree. Minnesota won the division.
Was it because Kirk Cousins sucked, or is it because their defense is terrible? Now you give
that Minnesota won the division. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Minnesota won the division.
Okay, but we have to look at what was in the division. You have Aaron Rodgers playing with a bunch of kids that don't know how to play football. Okay. Who are the Bears, and you had the Lions who were kind of finding their way a little bit. That's not the same as you got Justin Jefferson. Okay.
Right, but hold on, Marcus. Now here's the question I always ask you when it comes to this.
Okay.
Whose fault organizationally is that?
I understand that. I always agree with you, but I'm saying, look, yes, it's the organization, but I'm talking about the play. You're saying, what has Kirk Cousins? Look what you play with. Look what you play. You can't say.
No, Marcus. I think you're seeing it wrong. I literally just said Minnesota won the division.
Yeah,
Kirk Cousins was on that team, correct?
Yes.
And I'm still taking Geno Smith. Okay. Here's why.
Okay, I gotta hear this.
From a trajectory standpoint, from when Geno was with the Jets, we all watched Geno and the Jets. Geno and the Jets. That song went double wood. That song didn't even go gold. It went to whip platinum ever, right? He comes to Seattle, and all of a sudden, he's the 7th best quarterback in production the year before, Last year he was pretty good, and I'm not even a Seattle Seahawks fan. Shout out to my godson.
He
Trayvon,
should be pretty
who I always
decent.
talk-
You're throwing the DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett and Jackson Smith and Jigba, and you have Kenneth Walker Jr. behind you. That doesn't make you look. We've had this is the same as that. This is like that Brock Purdy, Justin Jefferson. That's
who
it.
Did Kirk Cousins
Justin
have,
Jefferson.
No.
Justin Jefferson.
He had Adam Thielen before he left. He had Thielen before he left. Thielen ain't been gone that long.
Okay.
Marcus.
Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen or hang on, Torch. Justin and Adam Thielen or DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Kenneth Walker Jr. in the backfield.
Just came last year.
Which is a better supporting cast?
Last year. Wait a minute. And Jigba just came last year.
Yeah.
But you had Jordan Addison. You had Jordan Addison. You had wait a minute, Marcus. Didn't Minnesota have your boy who was in Detroit now?
Who? Minnesota?
Hawkinson? Yeah. Didn't have Hawkinson?
Yeah. Oh, Addison just came. Addison was a rookie too. Addison and Jackson.
He had Thielen
and Jigba were both rookies.
Jefferson, Hawkinson. Marcus. Come on, Marcus. And then Seattle had who they had. Bro, I'm sorry.
Geno Smith
personally.
Geno Smith
is on the upward trajectory.
Geno sucked with the Jets, right? He sucked with the Jets. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, we know.
Okay. Did he suck? Don't forget he played with the Giants too. He played with the Giants too.
Know.
Was he good there?
I told you that Jersey song and dance didn't work. Go ahead.
Okay. So you sucked with the Jets. You sucked in the whole state of New York except Buffalo.
That ain't. First of all, they ain't New York. They New Jersey. Don't do that.
You sucked in both of the teams in New Jersey, and then you get to you have one good year. You have one good year where you actually they were hesitant to pay you. Everywhere that Kirk Cousins has gone, everywhere.
Wait a minute. That's nice that he can rip off teams for money, but hell, they should have been hesitant on him too. They should. What?
He took the Redskins to the playoffs. He took the Redskins to the playoffs. He took the Vikings to the playoffs, and I believe now we'll see. I believe going to the Falcons.
Go ahead and say
it. I believe going to the Falcons, he's going to take the Falcons to the playoffs. So that will be 3 teams that Kirk Cousins, Captain Kirk, has taken to the playoffs. And Geno Smith stuck with the Giants. He stuck with the Jets. He's had one good year with the Seahawks. Huh?
I want to see him do it.
We'll see.
I want to see him do it because they already got problems in Atlanta. I want to see him do it.
How does Atlanta have problems? With all that firepower that they got over there?
No. You didn't hear the off-season stuff already with Kirk Cousins and the Falcons? You didn't hear that? You didn't hear that already? Because he's sitting over there. Look, just remember that today is Wednesday. It's 6:12 p.m. on the 3rd of July. So it's going to be real easy to pull this back up because it's right before the 4th of July.
Pull it up. We're going to pull it Kirk Cousins. And guess what? If Kirk Cousins falls off, they got Michael Penix. And guess what with Kirk Cousins? Guess what? Somebody else will sign him and give him a nice deal because he's a good, not great quarterback. He can win you some games. If you put some pieces around him, he can win some games. Teams see that. I'm not saying he's Patrick Mahomes, but he's a decent quarterback. The only quarterback that's hit
Seattle playoffs and damn near got him there again last year.
I don't do it almost. You lost.
That's okay.
You lost.
That's okay. Minnesota didn't go last year either, so it's okay. That's okay.
That's cool.
I said the last couple seasons. You going with their whole career. You done brung up Geno and the Jets, Geno and the Giants. he done brung up everything on the New Jersey shore.
What did he do? What did Geno do last year? What did Geno do last year? What did Geno do last year?
He was good.
Geno, did they make the playoffs last year?
He was good.
They didn't make the playoffs last year.
They missed it by the last week of the season.
And now you got a revamp.
Last week of the season.
Now you got
and
you play in the NFC West. You play in the NFC West. Two games against the 49ers, a revamped Rams team, and a revamped Cardinals team.
The last 2 years. He's played them the last 2 years.
Okay. All right.
We gonna played them the last 2 years.
Stafford injured.
So Geno Smith in 22, the year that I was talking about. He's put up considerably good numbers.
I know he had a good 22. I'm not that. What did he do in 23? What's his number for
23?
Touchdowns,
23,
interceptions.
he had Lamar Jackson numbers. 23. He had Lamar Jackson numbers.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't compare the two-time. Don't compare him to the two-time MVP. What were his numbers last year? With Jackson Smith and
I'm just saying numbers wise. He had 36,000. He had 3,600 yards. He had 3,600 plus yards.
Touchdowns and interceptions.
20 touchdowns and 9 interceptions.
How many?
20 to 9. 20 to 9.
20 touchdowns. That's Daniel Jones's number. That ain't Lamar Jackson's number. And
Daniel Jones ain't no 20 to 9 guy.
Yeah, he is. 20. He's a 20 or 20 and 12. He's a 20 and 12 type guy. Lamar's like 20.
Hold on.
20.
Watch this. Wait a minute. Jay Renard over here being funny with you. Geno, what's up, Mr. Harris? Shout out to you, Mr. Harris. This Geno love is wild. No, it's a trajectory. Who said I had love for him? I don't have love for him. I just think that his trajectory and what he's done in the last couple of years is nothing to ignore. Kirk Cousins, I've seen Kirk Cousins. We've seen Kirk Cousins, what Kirk Cousins does. Tua had 3,600 yards too. He said, Marcus, he's trolling. He said, you the same guy who says the Steelers are going to be good this season. Get the F out of here.
The Steelers will be better than the Dolphins will be. The Steelers will be. I'll put a jersey on that. The Steelers will be better than the Dolphins. The Dolphins, bro, you have no offensive line, and your quarterback is one more hit away from a retirement home in Hawaii. Not even in the mainland United States. He'll be retired in Hawaii, in a retirement home in Hawaii. The Steelers will have a top.
I cannot.
If the Pittsburgh Steelers will have a top 5 defense.
Yo, Terrell said that's a real hot take. Steelers over the Dolphins.
Put it up. Put it up there. Put it in the poll. Who will have a better season? The Dolphins or the Steelers?
I could do that. I can do that right now. I can put that on my Facebook and see where that goes.
The Dolphins with no offensive line, who lost your best defensive player, Wilkins, the defensive tackle. But you got Calais Campbell. You got Calais Campbell. You lost Xavier Howard. You lost your starting center. You lost your linebacker. I can't even think of the line, but you lost your linebacker, you lost your corner, you lost your Bradley Chubbs coming off a man. Stop it. And then when the weather gets below 40 degrees, when the weather's below 40 degrees, y'all can't play.
Mm-hmm.
When the weather's below 40 degrees, y'all can't play. And every playoff team in the AFC is a cold weather city. KC cold weather, Baltimore cold weather, the Pittsburgh cold weather, Cincinnati cold weather, Kansas City cold weather. The weather get below 40 degrees, y'all can't do nothing. That all that speed don't mean nothing when it's snow and ice outside. I cannot believe, Torch. I cannot believe you said you would take Geno Smith over Kirk. I cannot believe you just said that. I can't believe you just said that.
Yes, I'm so serious right now. I'm serious. I'm so serious. I feel like Kirk Cousins is like on his tail end, and I'm telling you, you want to now watch out. Now hold on. Now I'm gonna say this. Since Michael Vick left the Falcons, you go ahead and name me another where their career has totally flourished in Atlanta. Go ahead, any player. Go ahead and name me one.
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan. Where's Matt Ryan right now?
He's retired. He's 43 years old. He's retired. Everybody ain't Tom Brady to play to 45 years old. He did win the MVP. Matt Ryan won the MVP. You know that, right? Matt Ryan won an MVP.
He retired. Wait a minute. Are we talking about this? We talking about the same Matt Ryan that gave up 28-3? Is that
Matt Ryan didn't give up 28-3? Matt Ryan put up 20. The defense gave up that game. Matt Ryan didn't give up that game. The defense did. And dumbass Dan Quinn want to run the ball.
No, you know what? I'll blame their coordinator for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know who the coordinator was? You know who the coordinator was? You know who the coordinator was?
Go ahead and say his
name. Kyle Shanahan.
I'm gonna say his name.
Who has shown with a lead, he still pees down his pants. He did it as a coordinator. He's doing it as a head coach with the 49ers. I'll put that on Matt Ryan. 28-3. That ain't.
Marcus, they said you're in trouble because we got a caller on the line. Caller.
Get on the phone. Get on the phone.
Trash ass quarterbacks
now. I like trash ass quarterbacks better than I do. I like trash ass quarterbacks better than I do. Hang on, Tank. I like trash ass. Hang on, Tank. I like trash ass quarterbacks better than I do. Quarterbacks with scrambled brains. I like them a little bit better. Your quarterback got his brains are more scrambled than eggs from Denny's. How about that? He got the bump.
I guarantee you this: that Tua has better stats than any of those trash ass quarterbacks in Pittsburgh.
He might, because y'all are he probably will, because y'all are a pass happy team. The Pittsburgh Steelers are, you are a pass first team. That's what y'all are a high explosive. That's not going to be Pittsburgh's game. Pittsburgh's game is going to be run Najee Harris, run Jaylen Warren, and then Russell Wilson using the play action game. That's going to be the Russ might throw for 3,200 yards. He was 28-6. He threw 28 touchdowns and 6 interceptions with the Broncos. You don't think he'll be better? You don't think he'll be the Broncos with no offense? He was 28-6 with the Broncos and a coach that didn't want him. And then he goes to Pittsburgh with a running game, an offensive line, a number one wide receiver, and an all-world defense. So you don't think he's going to flourish in that? I'm asking you, like he threw 20.
What did you do the last year in Seattle with the weapons that Seattle had? What do you do? Nothing.
Okay.
So what are you talking about?
He had a bad year. People have bad years. What about the year that Tua couldn't be out with
defense? Yeah, Pittsburgh's always top 5 in defense, but that's not really saying much when New England Patriots defense is a top 5 defense every year. But would they win 4 games last year?
Okay. And that's the difference. And that's the difference. That's the difference. Yes. Hang on. You're right. I'm agreeing with you. New England does generally have a good defense. When's the last time they went to the playoffs? The Pittsburgh Steelers went to the playoffs with Mason Rudolph. Russell Wilson isn't an upgrade over Mason Rudolph. Is Russell Wilson an upgrade over Mason Rudolph, Kenny Pickett, and Mitch Trubisky? Because they won 10 games with those guys. Russell Wilson, is he an upgrade over Mitchell Trubisky? I'm asking you. They were 10-6 with Mitchell Trubisky and Kenny Pickett. You don't think they'll be better?
I agree with that.
That's the point I'm trying to. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Bro. Like he's washed.
He was 10. Okay, he's washed. He's washed. He threw 28 touchdowns and 6 interceptions with the Broncos. Okay, what was the Steelers' problem last year? What was? Do you know? Okay, I'm going to give you a stat right. I'm going to give you a stat right here.
Literally, because it's maddening that there's no depth whatsoever for that offensive line, and I get that. But why are you disregard?
Not just that.
Defense?
Not just.
You're out of your mind.
Not just that.
Why? Because they don't have.
Who's your starting defense?
And by the way, Xavier Howard is actually going to end up back on the Dolphins.
You lost like all of your good defense. Tank, you lost all of your good defensive players. Christian Wilkins is a top defensive tackle. He's gone. And then you're telling me that you're replacing him with Calais Campbell.
We lost Wilkins. Wilkins was a big hit. I agree. That's a big hit. We're getting Phillips back.
What about Bradley Chubb? What about Bradley Chubb?
Chubb will be back. I mean, he's not going to be back at the party like week 8.
That's what I'm saying. And you got to go out there against Buffalo.
You got to go out for at least 8 weeks.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. You don't think that makes a difference? That's the point I'm trying. You're going out there and
that's a skill.
Calais Campbell at this stage in his career is a rotational player. That's what he is now. He's not a 60 snap guy. He's a go out there and he's a 25 snap guy. He's not a just stay out there on the field type guy. He's 36, 37 years old, man. He's not. I'm saying though, it's not just him though. You lost Brad. Okay, who's replaced? Okay, so you lost Christian Wilkins. You say Calais Campbell. You lost Bradley Chubb. Who was the linebacker that you lost to? I can't think of his name. You know your team better. Who's the linebacker?
They lost Van Kegel too. Van Kegel.
No? I'm talking about the start. You lost Xavier Howard. Who was the other linebacker? The star linebacker? Who's the star linebacker? Tank?
Who's our star linebacker?
Yeah, that y'all lost.
Who's that linebacker? Not Van Dijk, the good one. Who's the safety that you lost to? Like, I mean, you lost your entire offensive line, your starting center, who used to be on my Cowboys. He tore up his knee. You lost your star edge rusher. You lost your star defensive tackle. You lost your star cornerback. You lost your middle linebacker. You lost your outside linebacker. You lost one of your safeties.
Our line is now young, with the exception of Armstead. But
okay, so you got to line. They're young. So you got to line up against the New York Jets against Quinnen Williams, against Quinnen Williams, and against Hassan Reddick, and those two shutdown corners, and you got coming up the middle against a quarterback who's one more concussion away from retirement. You don't think that makes it?
Are you serious right now? Hey, let me ask you. Was playing last year too when we played the Jets? Was he playing on the Jets last year? Oh, okay, yeah. Because we swept the Jets, just so you know that, and he really didn't have that much of an impact.
Who?
So what are you talking about? And actually, we beat the Jets too, and I think it was like 45-degree weather. So that was another thing too.
You're playing against Zach Wilson. You're playing against Zach Wilson. You're not playing against the future Hall of Fame quarterback. Is Aaron Rodgers? Is Aaron Rodgers Zach Wilson? Like you have to consider
Aaron Rodgers even plays. Like what's happening right now? This guy's going back into the darkness retreats, and he's literally leading the charge for the 2024 trash quarterback.
I cannot. Now watch out now, Aaron Rodgers.
You know what? Do you want to know who Aaron? You want to know who Aaron Rodgers is? I'm gonna give you a player comp, and you're gonna like this. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the. I don't know what Aaron Rodgers is the. Hey, Tank. Aaron Rodgers is the Ricky Williams of quarterbacks. He's a free spirit. Remember when Ricky Williams went off and retired from football and went off and just went and smoked ganja, and they told him if he didn't give him back the signing bonus, that's what he's a free spirit. That's what he is. When Aaron Rodgers, you know what he cares about, and what most older players care about towards their career? Legacy. Right now, is Aaron Rodgers is he a first ballot Hall of Famer? If Aaron Rodgers won another Super Bowl, where does he rank? Okay, if Aaron Rodgers wins another Super Bowl, where do we rank him in the pantheon of quarterbacks all time? If he wins another Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, he's already top 10 to begin with.
Okay, I got you. If he wins another Super Bowl,
I put him in the top 10 right now anyway.
If he won another Super Bowl with that stacked Jets team, where do we put him in the pantheon of quarterbacks all time?
For me, I'd put him in the top 5, and I'd put him actually ahead of Peyton Manning at that point.
Do you see what I'm saying? That's what he cares about. What these players like to do before training camp. He's 40 years old. A lot of these older players, come on, man. You know what it is. If you've been in the league since you were 22 years old,
Wait
and
a
you're
minute.
40,
Wait a minute. Whoa. Jay Renard.
Yes, sir.
If he wins another Super Bowl, repeat that sentence again that you just said.
I put him in the top 5 and ahead of Peyton Manning.
Now,
we got to remember.
Here's the funny part. I am the biggest Aaron Rodgers fan you know. I'm sure. Yeah. I am also the biggest Peyton Manning fan you know too.
Yep. Well, I don't know about that. I'm a pretty big
totally disagree with you on that.
Okay.
Totally disagree.
Let me ask y'all this. How did
you can't put one ahead of the other. I'm gonna just be honest. This is me.
How did Peyton Manning look his last year with the Broncos?
Oh, we already know. Y'all called him noodle arm. But what y'all fail to realize is that that was the Super Bowl. That was the Super Bowl against the Panthers. Who won that game? Who won that game for the Broncos? The defense. That was all DeMarcus Ware. That was all Von Miller. That was now the Jets. That's what I'm saying. He has that same type of trajectory. Aaron Rodgers doesn't need to be Andre the Torch Robinson, MVP, Green Bay Packers Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't need what he needs to be is better than Zach Wilson. I think he's better than Zach Wilson. Oh, you know what? Agreed.
They go and draft Braylon. You go and draft. You go.
Sustain a whole year.
That's what I'm saying. His you're missing the point. His responsibilities with the Jets now. You know what the Jets are going to do? You got Breece Hall. You go out and go get another bruiser and Braylon Allen. What are they saying? You look at the team's draft and they tell you what they're thinking. You know what the Jets are going to be this year? You know what their game plan? Run Breece Hall, run Braylon Allen, run Breece Hall, run Braylon Allen, fake it to Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson bomb down the field. Aaron Rodgers, we need you to make 3 throws a game. That's what we need you to do. That's their game plan. That's their game plan. And their defense is already all world. The defense, everybody. Well, what happened to the defense? The defense got tired because it was 3 and outs because Zach Wilson's terrible. He's terrible. They thought so. The Broncos thought so much of Zach Wilson, they still go and draft Bo Nix. That's what they thought is. And we're talking about a guy who's the number two overall pick, and they thought so much of him, the Broncos, that they said, you know what? Hey, go ahead, man. So I think you're underestimating Aaron Rodgers a lot. I really do. All the Jets. I'm like, okay. The AFC
I'm never putting Aaron Rodgers over Peyton Manning, and I'm never putting Peyton Manning over Aaron Rodgers because I think they're, to be honest with you, I think they're one and the same, very interchangeable. If you ask me.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that. Go ahead, Marcus.
There's going to be a 10-6 team in the AFC that doesn't make the playoffs. Unless the only guarantee that you make the playoffs in the AFC tank is if you win your division. Because I believe that the best division in football, the best division in football is the AFC North. The AFC North is not just the best division. They might send 3 teams to the playoffs, like they did last year.
AFC North, we don't
like they did last
year.
We might send them all.
We don't know if Tank. They went to the Joe Burrow.
I think AFC North.
That's what I'm saying.
We don't know how Cincinnati and Cleveland are going to play out this year.
The only guarantee of Miami going to the playoffs, the guarantee, is if you win the division. Because I believe a division like the AFC North might mess around and send 3 teams again.
They might send all 4. If you ain't careful.
You're right.
That's what I'm.
They might send all 4 if you ain't careful.
I'm just saying, like,
listen,
unless
the AFC North might send every team, and the only other teams that may make the playoffs are divisional winners.
That's what I'm trying to say. You're like, well, we win these games. It's like,
okay, watch this. Hold on. Watch this. Let me break it down. Hold on. Since you don't believe that, let me break this down. Ready? How much do you believe in the Colts with Anthony Richardson?
The Colts?
Yes. Answer the question. How much?
No.
Okay.
No.
How much do you believe in the Jaguars this year?
Oh, the Jaguars, forget it.
Okay. How much do you believe in what's the other team in that South?
Houston owns that division.
Right. Who else is in the South, Marcus?
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
You believe in Tennessee? No. No. Okay. So let's go to the AFC West. Hold on. Let's go to the West. Do you believe in the Chargers, Raiders, or Broncos?
I think the Raiders have that division, believe it or not.
The who?
The Raiders.
Okay.
With Aiden O'Connell against Patrick.
Nobody believes in any of those teams.
How good are the Chargers going to actually be this year, Marcus?
Nobody believes in those teams. They don't believe in those teams to the point where they literally was talking about Jim Harbaugh should give up whatchamacallit. That's how much they believe in the Chargers.
So the South sends one team, the West sends one team. That's what we're saying, right?
One. So now we're talking in the AFC East. Now let's talk the East.
And
how many
come out of the East?
Let's talk about the East. How many teams has made the East? Right? It's been either Buffalo and Miami, right?
I'm sorry, I forgot that Kansas City's in that division. So that's KC's division.
Okay, right. So we've seen 2 teams at least go from the East, right, Marcus?
Yep.
Right, Marcus?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, according to Marcus, because Marcus believes that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be better than Miami this year, that would mean Hold on. That would mean if you're not careful, all 4 of them could go. Joe Burrow and the Bengals could go easily. So you telling me that there's not a possibility that all 4 of the AFC North teams could be better than the second team in the East?
George, there's
That's
always a possibility.
crazy to me.
There's always a possibility.
Okay, so you telling me that's not a good possibility, because I'm telling you that it's a great possibility.
No, it's not.
Okay, Miami and Buffalo hold one of the top 10 hardest schedules this year, by the way. Let's not forget that they hold. Remember, Buffalo made the playoffs. They get the second tier schedule. Miami made the playoffs.
Make it most difficult.
They get the top 10 hardest schedule. Buffalo and Miami. Go look them up right now. They're top 10 hardest schedules in the NFL. Mind you, both teams have had significant changes on their teams.
Not on offense for Miami.
But you can't just win.
Bro, you keep saying not offense. Hold on, watch this. Where did it get you? Where did it get you last year, offense? Where did it get you? Where did it get you?
Your defense got hurt. Your defense. Your defense got hurt, and your offensive line got hurt. You were in first place. For most of the year, and you fell off a cliff, and you let Buffalo like
that's an understatement, Marcus. Fell off a cliff. Marcus, that's an understatement.
And then you have a chance. You have a chance with a head-to-head matchup. You have a chance in a head-to-head matchup against the Bills in the last game of the season, and you still lose.
No, your coach melted. That's what happened. Nah, I like how y'all not trying to give Mike McDaniel none of that blame, sir.
If you beat Buffalo in week 17, you're the number 2 seed and you lost.
No, Marcus, you're being nice. No, Marcus, you're being nice. Had they ran the ball against the Tennessee Titans when they had a 2-touchdown lead in 3 minutes left of the game, we're not even having this conversation about Buffalo and Miami at the end of the season. We're not even having this conversation, Marcus. How many teams have given up a 2-touchdown lead in the last 3 minutes of a football game?
Like I don't understand this. I don't understand
in the
this.
NFL.
Like Tank, I get being a fan. I can appreciate it. But when you come onto my page and you call the Miami Dolphins the beast of the East, and they haven't won a division in 15 years. In 15 years, and you're 10-2 versus Josh Allen, and you go in a public forum and say we're the beast of the East. Really?
You know what? No, hold on. Watch this. You know what the moral of the story is? Tank, I told you this. It's reverted right back again. Y'all better win the division.
That's the only guarantee. That's your
more. I'm going to dislike your team even more this year.
If you don't, the only guarantee of going to the
fumbled the bag. I told you this. I told you in the beginning of last year, before the season even started, that your team better win the division. And sure enough, they fumbled the bag and they gave up what has never happened in the NFL ever. Ever, sir. Now your depleted defense, you're expecting that offense to pick up for that depleted defense, in which that defense only got you a first-round loss last year.
But wait a minute, though. Like, you and Marcus both. Like, again, you're disrespecting Miami's defense. Like,
no, I'm not disrespecting. No. There's no disrespect. There's no disrespect for me. I'm just asking you.
And for some reason, they ain't gonna be able to stop people.
I'm asking you this, Tank, and this is legitimate. You think that defense is going to be the same that it was last year?
It's not.
Okay, so then you're expecting your offense to pick up for your defense, right?
No.
Then how? Then please explain to me. Hold on, then Jay. I just need you to explain this to me. Explain to me then, how do you think the Miami Dolphins are going to be even better this year with what you just said? Explain it.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Explain it.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Explain
saying.
it,
Like,
Tommy.
if you lost all of these
You
pieces,
just
if you
don't
lost
need
all of
enough.
these pieces,
So we upgraded.
if you
the
lost
tight
all of
end
these
position.
pieces,
So there's one upgrade because Jonnu Smith is definitely going to be a lot better in the tight end play as opposed to what we've had.
With Mike Gesicki?
Yeah,
Jonnu Smith.
yeah. And I like Mike Gesicki.
Bro.
But Gesicki couldn't block. Jonnu Smith can.
Bro.
the
Unless
thing
you're
about
talking
it though
about
is,
Johnny.
here's the thing about it though. Tua
talking about
doesn't
his
throw to
blocking
the tight
ability?
end. Tua doesn't throw to the Tua doesn't throw to the tight. That's what the point. The main point we're missing is Tua doesn't throw to the tight end.
Or, you know, you're whatever, dude. Like
He threw to Mike Gesicki.
He's not like Fryermouth or you know any of those bigger tight ends that block and they can do. But again, we upgraded our tight end position. It's still
You
an
saying
upgrade
that's
from what we
you're
had.
saying that's
Did you
that's
okay?
an
Did you
upgrade. I
upgrade
don't
your?
think
Did
it's
you
an
upgrade your center? Did you upgrade it center?
No, we already discussed this, Marcus. I
Yeah.
get it. Our offensive line, there's no depth whatsoever, and that's a huge
But that's
weakness. I mean, I've said it since the draft. I'm like, we haven't even remotely addressed our offensive line.
okay. So how are okay? I got it. So why would you say
I
we're
get it.
better?
I'm not disagreeing with you.
So to say that we're bad, like you've gotten worse on your offensive
But what
line.
we have is we have youth now on the line. That's what we have.
Okay. All right. So we're
You
gonna
just
see
gotta
what that
you gotta come up with a
that
short story synopsis, paragraph on why the Dolphins are gonna be better this year. I need two. I
want to see that youth.
You are
I want
right.
to see that youth. I want to see that youth. I want to see that youth against. I want to see that youth against Quentin Williams and Hassan Reddick. That's what I want to see. I want to see that youth against Quentin Williams and Hassan Reddick. That's what I want to see. I want to see that. I want to see that youth against Matthew. I want to see that youth against Matthew Judon screaming off the edge. I want to see that youth against Ed Oliver and Von Miller. I want to see that youth.
The defenses that we all owned last year. We owned every one of those fucking defenses. Are you kidding me? The Patriots legit didn't have nothing on Miami.
Okay.
I just think that it's more of a.
I can't wait.
Come on, Marcus, keep coming with it.
I just think the possibility is more than you think that the AFC North could send 4. I think the AFC the North will at least send 3. You can clip this if you want.
To not have at least 2 teams in the playoffs.
Okay, and again, I would say that from 2020 to 2024 that the East was too good not to send
2023 to 2023. This is 2024.
2020. No. 2024. The season ended in 24. I'm talking about now the 24-25 season because this is technically 24-25 season. I'm saying that with all the adjustments that have been made, even Buffalo too. With all the adjustments Buffalo has made, all the losses Buffalo has made, all the revamping that Buffalo has had to do. Literally, they had to revamp for second round picks. Marcus, am I lying or not? We literally watched Buffalo sign right out of the first round to compensate their team with second round picks for a reason, Tank. Like, this isn't the same Buffalo Bills team that you've seen in 2020 to 2024 that was winning all these games that still for some reason couldn't beat Kansas City. It's not the same Buffalo team. I'll admit that. I'll be the first one to admit it, even though people don't want to admit that. I don't know why. They're stupid, some of them. But Miami, I feel, is the same way. I feel that Miami has made a lot of adjustments in which if you're expecting, which I just asked you literally on the show, Marcus, you witness to this, everybody else is witness, what would make the Miami Dolphins better from last year to this year? And you couldn't tell me at all what makes them better, which makes me question the validity of these teams. Now you
Oh, you also have
Aaron Rodgers in the Jets.
You also have to add
question them too.
You also have to add the off the field stuff. Tua wants to get paid. Tyreek Hill just sees all of these young.
They're going to tag him for 46 rather than pay him the 52. So that's off the table because they're not paying Tua. They've already said it. They're not.
That's what I'm saying though. When you have
he's not getting paid. So that dude needs to kick rocks.
That's what I'm saying.
Bring in another
when you have
again, I'm not a Tua fan, so I don't care.
So what if right now? What if right now? Okay, so what if right now Tua says? Okay, so what if right now Tua says, unless I get paid, I'm not showing up to training camp? Then what? If Tua says right now, unless I get paid up, unless I get you, you have to consider the business side of it too. If Tua says right now, unless I get paid, he sees guys like Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow who are in the same draft as him, and then the 2021 draft getting paid. They've already been paid, and you're the last one. Unless I get paid, now Justin Herbert has 0 playoff wins. And he got paid. They paid him $50+ million. I think 52 million a year. So he sees that and he's like, okay.
How many playoff wins does Trevor Lawrence have?
0. 0. Oh, no, he has 1.
And they paid him 55.
And they paid both of them, and they were in the same draft class as Tua. So what is the mind? So he's looking at that. It's like, okay, I was in the MVP conversation for a little bit, right? He was in the MVP conversation.
You're paying Tua at least 52.
No, we're not.
Then you're gonna lose him. You're gonna lose him.
I think Miami's prepared to do that, though.
Okay. That's even more. So then what? So then who's your starting quarterback?
I'm just telling you, George. They're not going to pay him. They don't value
Marcus, you see where my finger is pointed?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, so then what? If they decide not to pay him,
what?
If they decide not to pay him, then you're really in a bind because now it's like, okay,
hey, you're prepared. Wait a minute, folks. Wait a minute, folks. On this beautiful Wednesday at 6:51 p.m. on a Wednesday, the day before July 4th, y'all clip this. I want this. Somebody clip this too. Tang, you said that the Miami Dolphins is prepared to lose Tua Tagovailoa. Are you kidding me? You ready to go back in obscurity again? You ready? He ready to go back to the dark ages again. You ready to go back there? You ain't had a quarterback since Dan Marino. You ain't had a quarterback since Dan Marino. You ready to okay.
Listen, this is just me, but Ryan Tannehill's still out there. And I bet you that Ryan Tannehill could run that offense.
The same Ryan Tannehill who had a lead against the Bengals and allowed himself to be sacked 9 times in the game. He got when they had a lead. And he had Derrick Henry. That Derrick Henry?
Listen, I follow my team very closely, and there's a lot of inside people that are saying that the Dolphins.
Marcus, last week it was Calais Campbell. This week it's Ryan Tannehill.
It's Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill this week. Last week it was Calais Campbell.
Ryan Tannehill, Ryan Tannehill, who had the easiest looks, because when you played the Tennessee Titans, you only had to worry about Derrick Henry. They didn't double team none of his wide receivers. His wide receivers have all kind of windows, and he still couldn't get the receivers the ball when they're loading the box.
Miami with the shit offense that he had, and then he went to Tennessee and he was a lot better, wasn't he? A lot better than he was in Miami, wasn't he? So
was he?
Oh no, he was at one point, Marcus. He was at one point because they was talking about Ryan Tannehill's numbers was better than Patrick Mahomes at one point.
The dude can play.
All I know is for a couple of years he had AJ Brown.
The OBJ,
and I'm still saying
Waddle, or
Ryan Tannehill.
What are we talking about here, guys?
And I'm still Marcus and Jay, and I'm still saying Ryan Tannehill. That's who you really. Y'all ready? Y'all ready?
That's what you want to go to war with Ryan Tannehill.
You guys are going to go right to the bottom of the show. If y'all willing to let Tua leave.
And where is it? Where would Tua go? Where's the market for Tua? Where is it?
For
who's Minnesota's quarterback?
What's the market?
Who's Minnesota's quarterback?
They just drafted
Minnesota's quarterback.
They just drafted Sam Darnold, and then they drafted JJ McCarthy. They got Sam Darnold, and they drafted JJ McCarthy.
That's where Tua should go. In fact, I'm one. You can clip me on this. If Miami is willing to let Tua walk, if I'm Minnesota, I take Tua. You want to know why? Two reasons. Number one, of course, he's got a wide receiver weaponry and Justin Jefferson and Addison in them. And then number two, Tua finally learns how to play in cold weather. God damn it, so he can get tough. Because he need to get tough. They need to throw his ass. They need to throw his ass in Siberia and tell him to play football for a year. And
they play in the dome. They play in the dome in Minnesota.
I don't give a damn. It's still cold. Wait a minute. Hold on. Time out. Y'all funny as hell. Y'all say Minnesota play in the dome, but last I checked, Minnesota's last playoff game that's even memorable is the one where they missed against Seattle, and that was in Minnesota, and the dome was open. What are we talking about? The dome was open. They pick and choose.
I bet you
they open and close the dome, sir.
Okay. If it's snowing outside that damn dome ain't gonna be open.
9 games.
Well, it was cold as shit that game, and they opened that dome. So who are we talking about, bro? Go to Minnesota. He need to get used to the cold weather, even after games. He need to get some of that cold weather. Let it hit his lungs. Let that cold air hit his lungs. He need to learn how to play Marcus in cold weather. Give a damn about that damn dog.
You heard what they said, how he was preparing for the cold weather in Kansas City, right?
Oh, hold on. Let me ask you a question. Hold on. That's funny. That's funny that y'all mentioned the dome. Hold on. That's funny to me that y'all mentioned the dome. Y'all only thought about their home games. I could have swore they played Green Bay in the cold. I could have swear they played Chicago in the cold, and Detroit is the only other team that's got a dome. So you still got to play in cold weather, sir, at least 4 times a year, at least minimum.
So what are you talking about? Because
he need to learn how to play in cold weather. That's what I'm talking about.
Does Miami come to New England? Does Miami go to Buffalo?
Well,
Does Miami play in
and
New
guess
York?
what's funny? And we all know your record. We all know your record against Buffalo. We all know your record against Buffalo.
Yeah,
we know your record against New England too. Hold on, y'all sweep New England?
Yeah, we swept New England
last year, right?
You guys didn't.
Last year, right?
Yeah, and the year before.
Oh, and the year before?
Yep.
Y'all swept the Jets?
We split with the Jets the year before, but last year we swept them.
Okay, so y'all 3-1 the last 2 years against those teams. Those two teams.
That ain't too bad.
Not too bad. Just rack up. Hold on, Marcus. Just rack up the 3 losses that they got against Buffalo, though, and then that record kind of looks bad. Then you're a 500 team in cold weather. 4-4. You'd be 4-4 against your opponents.
The beast of the East. The beast of the East. But man, we're hitting on 2 hours, man.
Yeah,
Please,
I was just about to say, let me show y'all what's going on for the next show, real quick.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
The next show coming up, I gotta do this. We talked football, and that's great. I love it. I love talking football, especially with the football connoisseur itself, and Jay Renaud, the football connoisseur that he is. Or should I say, yeah, definitely. biggest red flags for 20 NFL contenders in 2024. We'll be talking about it on the next show here as we scroll through each one. We'll talk about it. And then we'll also finally talk about the 10 head coaches returning. We'll talk about that. We're talking about LeBron James. We can let LeBron James lie for right now. Bronny James is the discussion, but obviously, as you can see, these are the 10 returning coaches as it stands right now. And then we'll talk WNBA too. I don't think I'm off that. And NBA free agency too. We'll talk about that on the next show. The next show might be a late night show if I'm not working. But if it ain't, we're gonna have another show coming up. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's obviously Independence Day. Shout out to everybody. Happy holidays to y'all on that. I will say the 5th. July 5th will be the next show.
That's Friday.
We will talk about all those things. If I do not enthusiastic, if I don't get super enthusiastic and then, get very ambitious and want to do a show before that, I probably will, because the ambition in me I got to talk about this other stuff too. Yeah. And we'll talk a little Olympics too on the next show.
For sure.
But it is always fun.
Make sure y'all tune in July 26th.
Yeah, go ahead, Marcus.
We'll be back July 26th, Friday, July 26th, 10 Eastern Time, Alphabets Football Show. Our first show of season 5, breaking down the AFC South and the NFC South. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. July 26th, our first show of the season. We'll be breaking down 2 divisions per week until the season starts, and start getting ready for some fantasy football. So make sure y'all do that. Subscribe to the channel, Alphabets Football Show on Facebook, and then subscribe to the our YouTube channel. We'll get it up there. When we talk football, we chop it up, and it's real fun. So we appreciate y'all. Hey, Torch.
You already know. And on top of that,
it's been real. It's been fun, but it ain't been real fun. We'll see y'all.
Oh, I thought it was real fun too. Shout out to the Upstate Lady Predators and the Buffalo Yetis coming up. Women's football, they doing anything too. Shout out to them, and shout out to all the you positive influencers out here. Shout out to y'all too. Gotta put that out there too. Shout out to all y'all. Appreciate y'all. See y'all again real soon.